Hey guys, this is Camper15 and I'm back at it with another video for you guys. And this is another Food Wars Season 5 episode review. Well, today's episode was, again, I guess you can say it was predictable from the way it was going, with what we saw in this episode and what they've, like I said, been teasing since the start. But, one, I don't know. I'm mixed about this episode. I like this episode, but in some cases there was a plot point that I did not like about this episode at all. Now, to go on, we're here. This episode's obviously about. If you haven't seen it yet, go see Food Wars on Verve or Crunchyroll and stuff like that. And it was about Soma, the conclusion of the Soma versus Sarge Food War, and then the food war between Asahi and Tsukasa's. Now, when the episode starts off, we left off where we freaking left off, where Soma presents his dish to the judges and everything. Now, Joe Ichiro and Erina's grandfather are actually there at the Blue Tournament. Now, Joe Ichiro, he thinks Soma can't beat these Noir members if, under certain, but he can't beat the Noir cooks. But he says under normal circumstances, that's where the difference clearly is. Now, Soma, he goes on to say that for his cake, what we find out in Soma's cake is he didn't use no sugar or dairy products at all in his cake. I don't know how you can make a good enough cake to make without dairy products and sugar, because I feel like if you were to do that here in the real world, the cake would probably taste like legit crap, and stuff like that. That's just my personal opinion, but hey, it's anime. Now, Sarge, she goes on to believe, she doesn't believe that Soma's dish is totally not on par of his, on her dish and stuff like that. And then Soma to eventually, I guess you can say, beat her out for good. The thing that looks like, I guess you can say, bombs, he kind of pulls the plug on those things, takes the little thing that was in it, and it creates this cream that comes out, which makes the cake taste like a lot better, and which gets the judge. We actually get a flashback here of Soma's past, and Joichiro is talking about how he got kind of the idea not to use sugar and stuff in some foods from his dad, because he obviously works at the diners and stuff like that, and his dad taught him many, cooking techniques and stuff like that to implement in his head, to the point where, you have these casual people who are just coming to get a bite to eat. Make sure they always come back and they never want to leave. They want to come back for more food from the diner, which is pretty cool. And we got to see someone when I think he was back in I think 6th grade or something like that, cooking. So we get some flashback on Soma. So obviously his dad worked and really hard to be, I guess, the really talented cook he is today, along with what Totsuki's been providing him and stuff like that. Now, Ashi is actually pretty freaking shocked that Sarge lost Soma. He's like, he's like, huh, I didn't see that coming. It doesn't matter. Soma should never beat Sarge, but yeah. So, next thing you know, Tsukasa gets essentially the email to his phone, or the text to his phone saying that his next opponent has been chosen. Now, here I'm like, let me guess, it's Asahi. We later find out it is Asahi. Now, Sarge makes on a mention, which is hinted, which is revealed later on in this episode, but she gives a hint to Soma, because Soma's like, well, since I beat you, I'm on my way to beat Ashi, so that's why I can't lose here and stuff like that. But then Sarge is like, you think you can beat Ashi so easily like you beat me, doesn't mean that won't happen for you. You won't beat him. And she says she can't beat Ashi because of his knife. Now, that's just a hint. We later find out why he's so good. Now, Asahi, actually before his matchup, which again shows that I figured that he'd be going up against Tsukasa's. Plus, the ending kind of gives it away if you've been watching the endings as well. Asahi asked the other Noir members to help him with something for the next match. But they all are like, no. We're not helping you. See, unlike Sarge, who blindly follows you, we're trying to do this for our own deeds. We're trying to be better cooks here, and we're trying to be the ones that surpass you, essentially, from what they were saying. Hey, I like it. It's, I guess you can say, better than Sarge's character and then most other antagonistic groups where there is a leader and the other subordinates are blind followers and do and say whatever the leader tells them to do. Like, especially in a situation like this where it's a tournament, it's like, look, I know you're in the same group, but why would you help somebody from your own group? Because eventually you're going to have to go up against each other. So it's like, no, you're here for your own reason to expand your cooking and stuff like that, especially with what's freaking at stake here in the blue tournament and stuff like that. And I actually like the other Noir members, standing up to Asha and be like, no, 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 no. We don't, listen, we just joined you so we could get better. We didn't join you to follow you around like some puppy or something like that, the way Sarge is doing to her. The way Sarge is doing to him. Now, Tsukasa goes up against Asahi, as we all know, and Asahi throws down the gauntlet. And it seems like Asahi. The fun fact about Asahi, he reminds me of Guki Maria from One Piece. If you don't know who that is, it's a thing from the Wano arc. He also reminds me of some other character from some other show that I don't know. But essentially, he's even here like what is it? Crap, the guy that I forgot his name. They've said his name here too. I forgot his name, but he's like that guy we saw earlier in Food Wars in like season 1 when he went up against Aldini and took his knife. Essentially, like I said, Asahi is a guy that likes to take people's knives if he beats them in a food war, and probably uses them as some sort of trophy or anyways. Like I said, he puts the gauntlet to Tsukasa and he's like, look, if I win, I take your little grater or whatever. But if Tsukasa wins, he can ask for anything from Asahi. So, yeah, so he does the same challenge he did with Soma as well. The only difference is Soma, he didn't take Soma's knife and stuff like that. Now, the theme of this food war is Posen chicken. I'm not a fan of chicken. I know. You're like, how are you black but you don't like chicken? I know. It's weird. Anyways, Tsukasa and Takumi actually both has a suspicion about Asahi. And they're like, I don't know about what Asahi's planning and everything. And fun fact here, well, we get Ichiki and Kuga here in the tournament, in the blue tournament, and they are here. So I think, okay, look. So a few weeks ago, we got Mito to join here. And now this week it's Ishiki and Kuga. I'm guessing as the weeks progress for these episodes, I'm guessing we're going to see the previous cast members who, to be honest, aren't doing anything at this moment. If they're not even important characters like they have been in the past. You know, even though we barely saw them do anything. We got some moments from some of the other characters, but more than likely, no, we got nothing. And I was like, okay. The dudes in season 5 here, you know, they show the other characters in the opening and stuff like that, like they're gonna be featured or something. But it's like, well, other than the first episode, you don't really see much of them. It's really only between Soma, Takumi, Megumin, and Erina, and any other character who we see later on. I'm guessing, you know, the way how it's going to be structured is, I guess, next week we'll get another, either Totsuki, you know, seed of class, one of the 10 from Totsuki, to show up. Or we're going to get, I guess, maybe in the final round, again, which I'm calling it's going to be Soma versus Asahi. I'm guessing we're going to get the whole, you know, lovable, you know, group of Soma's friends in the major blue tournament, because they're just popping up here. They don't explain why they're here. Unlike Mito, how Mito said, yeah, I'm here. I was just here to just drop off some meat for the Noir members because they asked for it. Ishiki and Kuga, they don't say why they're here. They just show up, and I'm like, so we get no explanation why they're here. I'm guessing they're here because they came to support Tsukasa. I don't know why they didn't explain that. Look, I'm not to say that I don't mind it. If they're gonna do week to week, oh, this character and this character, or maybe Alice and Ryu show up next week, with Hayama. Who knows? Um, like I said, that it seems like that's where it's going. More characters we know from Totsuki are just gonna show up and just magically be here to support the others. That's the thing. Now, um, so this is the next thing. Now, they cut to Ashi because someone's like, "Yo, what the hell is Ashi doing?" Now, Ashi, we see Ashi with all these different knives all around him, and we see all these crazy, unique looking knives. And next thing you know, we see him using the blood curdling guy's little cooking device. So Ashi has the other members' cooking tools, and they cut over to some of the other judges in the area where they were just last out, and you see all the other Noir members just laid out like they got beat up, and they even said like it seems like they got beat up. You can call me being a nitpick, but I think this is actually bad. Now, it's bad from this standpoint. You hype up all those other Noir members who Ashi took their cooking tools from. You hyped them all up last week to be the grand antagonist of this arc. And Ashi kind of just takes their stuff by beating them up, I'm guessing. What? What? This makes no sense. I'm sorry, this makes no sense. You hype up these villains only to be like, okay, no, they're just gonna be utterly wasted in one episode. We got the introductions to all the characters' names and what they're good at and stuff like that, only for them to be wasted the next week later. So, what was the point of having them in this story to begin with? If Ashi was just gonna take them out from the start? I don't know. Again, you can say I'm nitpicking, but that's just me looking from an objective point of view. Why would you make me, know so much about these characters and their styles and their names and everything, only for them to get beat up the next week? Okay? Makes no sense, and stuff like that. Anyways, Mito goes on to say that Ashi is the only Noir member she has no intel on whatsoever. So this, again, leading to the mysterious background of Ashi. The only thing we know about Ashi's background is that Joichiro raised this guy. We don't know how he got so good. We don't know how he got exponentially great or what he did in his spare time, between after Joichiro left him at a young age and stuff like that. Now, we cut back to a flashback scene, which is minutes ago, because Sarge is over here kind of monologuing, and she's here to also explain why, we get the revelations why she says someone apparently can't beat Asahi. So, Sarge actually gave her chainsaw knife to Ashi, and she saw it as an honor. So, one, she's a blind freaking puppet to Asahi. And I also forgot to mention, back in the conclusion to the Soma versus Sarge fight, obviously like traditional food wars, if you can't believe my food's so good, why don't you try it yourself? They did do the fan servicey scene with Sarge, and yes, I'm in love with the body. So yes. We also kind of get the revelation here too, or we kind of get it, confirmed here that Sarge romantically likes, Ashi in a romantic type of way. Because in the whole thing, it's like she was seen talking to Asahi, after eating the dish in her own imaginary mind and stuff like that, saying, and Ashi's like, reveal your true feelings and stuff like that. So, yeah, Sarge, there's a reason why she's a blind puppet, because she's in love with Asahi. Now, how Ashi has not realized that, he probably has, but he doesn't care because his eyes are only on Erina. So, one, I'm also getting a Joker and Harley relationship vibe here, where Ashi's like the Joker, and Sarge is like Harley Quinn, who just blindly follows, Ashi wherever he goes, and whatever Ashi says to do, she'll do for him, despite the fact that she could say, "Oh, I really love you, Asahi," and Asahi be like, sorry, I don't really care about you like that, and I don't like you. I have another girl on my eyes." But then again, Sarge will still blindly follow him just to seek attention from Asahi. That's essentially really the Joker Harley relationship, and that's what I saw here. And when I was watching, I was like, oh, so she's Harley, and Ashi to her is Joker. Okay, nice way. Okay, something to steal from Batman. Yeah, okay. Um, so we find out that Ashi, just by touching people's tools, can know the knowledge of how to use them and create their cooking style. So, look, it's the world. It's anime. In the real world, if you could tell me I could pick up somebody's knife and learn their cooking style and just have the knowledge how to cook, like if I were to pick up one of freaking Gordon Ramsay's freaking knives, the moment I touch it, I can just have the brain knowledge to be like, oh, now I know how Gordon Ramsay cooks just by touching his knife. I know it's anime, but that's kind of bullshit, man. You're telling me this guy can really pick up knives and know their cooking style? Come on, man. Look, I know it's a cooking anime, but this is one of the most realistic type of animes you can think. But my God, like, okay, he just has IQ of 100, So this explains why Ashi is so good and why nobody can barely beat him. And even Sombra, he thinks like, is this how did he use this on me and stuff like that back in the Food Wars in episode 3? More than likely, yes. He probably used Joe Ichiro style since he used Joe Ichiro's knife. Don't ask me how I believe how just touching somebody's knife you gain the knowledge. So he's using the blood curdlers dude stuff and stuff like that. Now that type of style is the cross knife style, and that's essentially the title of the episode and stuff like that. Now Tsukasa makes Posen chicken rôtir, but Ashi at the same time presents his dish, makes grilled Posen chicken. But the same thing, like I always said, whoever presents their dish first more than likely ends up being the loser. And here it was kind of predictable that Tsukasa's would end up losing because, trust me, they're hyping too much Soma versus Ashi, and it wouldn't make sense for season 5 to do that. Now, after the judges are just like flaunted with the food, they try Tsukasa's food, they like his food, but Rentabi makes a mention like, well, Tsukasa's food is really good, but for some reason, Achi's food, I just can't stop thinking about it. And we find out that Achi put like these little like sausage bits in it, which, expanded the dish even further than Tsukasa's. So Asahi beat Tsukasa's, which Tsukasa's was such a tough antagonist to beat in the past 2 seasons. And Ashi makes quick work of him like it's nothing. So since he lost, Ashi beat Tsukasa's, he takes his little grater. And obviously, Ashi is shocked, which, again, is the thumbnail of my video. You can see he's shocked as all get up. And then as the episode ends off, as he walks away, as Ashi walks away, you kind of see Tsukasa's with just a spotlight on him all, looking all down. Tsukasa goes to him, gives him like green tea, I think that's what it is. And he says, I thought you did a really good job, Tsukasa, and stuff like that. And Tsukasa tells Soma as the episode ends off that he can't lose, and Soma replies that he won't. And then that's when the episode ends off. But no, wait, we got a post-credit scene. Now Takumi, thank God they're finally gonna feature Takumi cooking. I was about to question, like, are we gonna get Megumin and Takumi finally featured in the episode cooking, even if it's only one? Now, Takumi is going up against New Warriors Don Kama. He looks like a those like old school villains with the mustache, not the curly black mustache, but something like that. Um, and the Food War here is going to be a team battle where they can register a support member to help them. Obviously, Takumi Woodshu is going to choose Isami, his brother. But when we cut over to Isami, for some reason, he's in the corner. He's in the waiting room where Don Kama's waiting room's at, which I think he maybe got tricked into. And he's cornered by what I'm guessing is Noir members. So Noir members are using their dirty tactics to get the upper hand. We were warned of this, and here we go. So next week it seems like, I don't know, are they gonna force Isami to team with Don Kama, and Takumi's gonna have to choose somebody else, or he's gonna go up against somebody themselves, or maybe Don Kama's will say like, hey, we caught your brother. Yeah, he's a hostage. Now listen, Wu might hurt him if you just, take me on yourself. Doing the same thing like Copy Boy. And heck, even I forgot to even mention back with the Ashi stuff. They even mentioned with the Ashi stuff how, with his cooking style, which is the cross knives cooking style, it's like going up against that same copy guy, like tens of those same dudes who, do the copy cooking stuff. So yeah, this episode was a fairly decent episode. Takumi is gonna be featured next week. They really are trying to make us really hate the Noir characters because they use dirty-handed tactics. Ashi looks to be almost as OP as frickin' Gabriel from SAO if you watch Sword Art Online. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I gotta say for this episode. I'm actually about to go to work right now. So, yeah. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. So if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this episode, your thoughts on Ashi's cooking style, and your predictions for next week. Again, no spoilers for the manga. Anime only channel here for this. And stuff like that. Also, hit the subscribe button if you want to get more Food Wars episode reviews, as well as, if you are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon to make sure you stay up to date with any notifications of whatever videos I frickin' upload to the channel. So till then, guys, this has been Camry15, and I'm signing out. Hopefully you guys are having a safe, great rest of your day. So till then, guys, stay safe out there. Peace.